we're going to create giraffe skin. And this is really using a wet on wet technique. So I'm going to take my brush, watercolor. First word is water. We need lots of water. And I'm going to drip a couple drips in the yellow and the brown because that's what I'm going to be using today. Starting with the yellow. So we want to take and we want to add yellow to our paper. And we're just going to paint the entire paper yellow. I think I'm going to do just half the paper yellow. That way you're not having to watch me paint. Okay, we're using big brushes so we can spread it out. And we have to work pretty fast, because if we don't, the paint will dry. And if it's a wet on wet, we need to make sure it's wet. And if you think about giraffe, the skin on a giraffe, they're yellow, they have brown spots mainly, but are the spots perfect circles? No, they're not. They're kind of just all different odd shapes. So that's what we're gonna go for on this. And like in the book, Giraffes Can't Dance, the skin, really, there's not straight lines on it. It kind of blurs or feathers. So, okay, you notice I got yellow paint on the table? I want you to paint right up to the edge. It's okay to get paint on the table. We will clean it later. Okay, now, got about half done. You can do this half at a time if you want to, but I don't want to take too much time. You might have time to do the whole thing to start with. But you could also do half, do the brown dots, and then do half. That would be fine also. Okay, now this time, I was painting last time with my whole brush. This time I'm just going to use the very tip. So I'm going to dip it in here, and then I'm just going to touch my paper. That didn't get a lot of color. Like this. And you will see that the color starts to spread out, and it gives it that feathered look on the edges. I think this is fun. Starts off small and then just grows. And it'll grow even more as I'm doing the ones around here. We want to keep them fairly close together. Some of them might bleed together, especially the ones on the edge, because the paper is kind of tilting now. It's warped from the paint, but that's okay. We're doing the whole piece of paper. We're not going to end up using the whole piece of paper next week to draw our giraffes, but we're going to find like the best area to do. So you're just going to keep doing this until you get your whole paper covered. Have fun.